unbelievable. I've been gardening for over 30 years now, and I've never seen seed prices as high as they are right now. Truly, I've never seen them jump this much, this drastic. Which is also kind of ironic. Because one of the benefits of growing from seed was supposed to be to save money. It feels like nowhere is safe from this constant drive upwards in costs. Now more than ever, we have to make sure that we're on our game to maximize germination and seed viability, both for when direct seeding, but more importantly, when planting early indoors to make our own starter plants. So today, let's look at the 8 things I do to make sure that every viable seed sprouts, as well as thrives after the fact. Let's get our garden started off right this year. Seeds are no doubt amazing. Underestimated tiny dormant vessels of life just waiting to spring into action. Oddly enough though, just 2 things dictate and control germination, and that's moisture and heat. But before we can get to those 2 things, we've got to get down and dirty. That's right, soil. Without the proper soil mix, our seed starting efforts could end up being just a giant waste of time. You see, getting seeds to sprout isn't really all that hard. In fact, all you have to do in many cases is just add water. Most seeds will readily sprout even when completely submerged. With healthy, properly stored, viable seeds, germination isn't the issue. The issue is sustained growth past the critical stage of when those young seedlings send the new shoots up and the new roots down. Thus, a proper seeding mix needs to be light, airy, uniform, free of impediments, and moist but never saturated. It does sound like a lot, but really, a good seeding mix is easy to come by. You can either buy it at the store or you can make your own. Equal parts of moist coconut fiber and fresh compost with some vermiculite and perlite sprinkled in is all you need, and you're good to go. Don't overthink the seed starting medium, but it is important. Okay, with our medium all set, let's talk moisture. Dormant seeds use moisture by absorbing it through a process known as imbibition. As their seed coats swell up, they split, allowing the first root radical to emerge and make its way down into the substrate. Awesome. Seedlings need moisture. That much is pretty obvious. But just like adult plants, they can get too much of it. Much like their older counterparts, the roots of a young seedling needs air. Soil that is constantly waterlogged is going to have that air displaced, and those seedlings will quickly perish under the anaerobic conditions. So, like we said before, keep your medium moist, but never soggy and never saturated. The other parameter that we mentioned governing germination is heat. Just as moisture helps the seeds burst their protective coatings, rising temperatures boost their metabolism, letting the seeds know that winter and dormancy is over. Seeds definitely have a preferred range of temperatures to sprout at, and likely it's warmer than the room you're growing them in. For most varieties of our starter seedlings, we're looking at a preferred temperature range of 75 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit for optimal germination rates. Less than 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and the sprouting process is extended, allowing for more things to go wrong, negatively affecting those germination rates. Too high, however, and we run the risk of simply cooking the seeds. These low wattage heat mats are the solution for just a few pots or even trays, but if your operation is a bit bigger, you're going to have to go with heat cables or stuff like this heat tape here. Do keep an eye on those temperatures though. If you have a warm room and lots of grow lights, quite likely you might not even need supplemental heat at all. All right, with the soil, moisture, and temperatures all set, it's finally time to plant. It's super simple, and just making a little hole and dropping a seed in pretty much does the trick. The key, however, is getting the right depth, and that depth changes with every variety of plant. They can be as shallow as lettuce at just a 1/4 inch deep, or all the way up to a full inch below the surface with things like zucchinis. Every crop is different, and every seed packet will tell you the proper depth. Seeds are amazing. This we've already established. But they're even more amazing because they continue to be a factor in the plant's life well after germination. If you notice the seed soil mixes that we mentioned before, they were quite simple, at least in terms of no extra added nutrients. That's because our seeds continue to feed the young seedlings well after germination. It doesn't last forever, but it will last at least a couple of weeks until those first true leaves appear. After that, our seedlings will need a boost, yes, but nothing too drastic. A balanced, low-dose liquid NPK is all the young plants can handle at this time. Now, your NPK refers to the relative nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium ratio that's in the fertilizer. It's indicated by the 3 numbers on the label of every commercial blend. Go balanced, go dilute, and feed every 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, we kind of jumped a bit ahead of ourselves here. You see, once a seedling sprouts, each part of the plant has a specific job. The roots go down looking for food and water, and the shoots reach upwards trying to capture light. Obviously, in the complete absence of light, plants simply can't survive. But even in inadequate light, your seedlings will grow long, leggy, weak, and make very poor transplants. Advancements in LED technology make this a problem of the past, but don't discount those nice sunny windows either. In short though, unless you're growing specific varieties of onion starters, give your young seedlings at least 14 and up to 18 hours a day of full spectrum light. This is a biggie, and it's kind of non-negotiable. Okay, now that we got our plants all set up past the delicate stage, it's time to toughen them up. The first way to do this is to increase air motion and air circulation. Definitely remove all domes and covers once those first true leaves appear. And if you can, even put a small fan on your young plants. This is going to do a couple of things for us. 1, most bugs simply hate air motion. Also, it's going to keep fungal and mold outbreaks at bay. But most importantly, it's going to toughen up those lush little seedlings, which leads us into our last point. And that would be temperatures, as in we need to drop them. 80 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit is great for germination, but it's much too warm to be growing potential transplants. Around 65 to 70 is absolutely ideal, and it's going to keep the growth slow and steady while making the hardening off process later on much easier. Altogether, it does feel like a lot, but really, this seed starting business, a lot of it is incremental, and the process happens over weeks, if not months. Still, it is an important part of the season, so to ensure that we got it all, let's recap those main points. Starting seeds early indoors of certain crops allows us to get a jump on the season. Despite rising costs in recent years, it's still an economical way to get your garden game going, provided we are successful with it. The right soil mix is going to make a huge difference not only in your germination rates, but also in how the young seedlings do moving forward. Moisture, as well as heat, control those germination rates, with most seeds enjoying between 75 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit as the preferred range. Always keep the soil moist, but never saturated, and be aware that different seeds are planted at different depths. The inside of the seeds do sustain the plants for a little while, but after about 2 weeks, when they get their true leaves, they are going to need a boost. Right from the time of sprouting, light is massively important, so make sure to give your seedlings full spectrum at least 14 hours a day. As the plants continue to grow, keep that air circulation high, and as soon as the true leaves start to form, drop those temperatures to around 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Yes, the job now is to promote growth, but we don't want the young transplants becoming too lush. Seed starting. A lot of us look forward to it every year. Once you're able to break it down to the manageable and intuitive process that it really is, seed starting becomes much less stressful and much more enjoyable. Hey, best of luck with your seeds this year, guys, and I'll see you soon. Hey, thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate the support more than you know. And if you're getting value from these videos, please like and share them to spread the word and help your fellow gardener to grow better.